Travis here from Outdoors with Travis, and today we're going to answer the question, is the EVO XF from PSE, their 2022 flagship bow, still a good bow to buy in 2024? So I already put a rest on the bow and I've paper tuned it to save time for us, but we are going to chuck on a True Glow carbon hybrid. It's a micro adjustable multi-pin 5-pin sight because I want to push at least to 60 on the range with this, get some decent groupings and have an honest opinion about it. And then I don't so much want to throw in a massive stabilizer like I normally do, but I think sticking with True Glow, I'm going to go with their cadence stabilizer, which I would say is more of a vibration dampener, but still a very, very nice piece of equipment. While we put these accessories on, let's go over the specs of this bow to understand what it's capable of. Total weight, 4.3 pounds. Speeds are between 337 feet per second to 345 feet per second, depending what obviously poundage option you go for. It comes in a 60, 70 and 80 pound option. Draw length options with the E2 cam is a 27.5 inches to 31.5 inches, has a brace height of 6 3/4 inches, and obviously this bow is a 30-inch axle to axle. Before we go into first impressions, draw cycle, how it feels in the let off, and then overall shootability in terms of how it feels when that shot goes off. Let's talk about some of the things I like off the bat about this model. In 2022, they introduced their new cable slider, adjustable cable slider, which is completely different from the older one, and there's no slip or pull or play. You can simply adjust it left or right. This is also the first year, 2022, where they dropped that lower stabilizer mount right by the limb pocket, which I prefer. I always run my stabilizers as low as possible. They also did a 15% weight reduction in the limb pockets. Something that I also like on this bow, because I was running the EVO for 2 years, which is the 2021 flagship bow, is that this bow has a 2-piece quiver mounting option, whereas the previous year and back did not. And then this specific bow is in the Gore Optifade subalpine camo, which I think is just gorgeous. Right, obviously I have been paper tuning this the whole morning, so I have had quite a few shots with it, but I'm going to shoot now and give you guys my opinion of what I like, don't like, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let's do it. That's very nice, but I'm going to be very honest with you. There was a little bit more vibration when I was paper tuning because I didn't have the stabilizer on from True Glow, that cadence stabilizer. And now that it is on, it has significantly reduced the vibration. Wasn't bad, but there is a reduction. That actually holds nicely, man. That holds really nice. Sure, loving that. I can tell you right now, with minimal accessories, I wouldn't say this is top-notch accessories like I normally run. With minimal accessories, I'm holding that bow super steady. That bubble doesn't move out of the center at all. I'm going through my normal shot process. It feels amazing. Honest opinion time. So like I said before, I put the True Glow cadence stabilizer on, which is more of a vibration dampener tool. There was quite a bit of vibration in the bow, but that is expected out of a bare bow that just has a rest on that you're shooting out of with no accessories on the bow itself. So that is expected from any kind of bow, but the minute I threw that stabilizer on from TrueGlow, it was dead in the hand. Overall, draw cycle is really nice. It's an E2 cam. It's their aggressive cam for this bow. It's the fastest cam for this bow. And also this is an 80-pound bow itself, and so all of that should be making it quite an uncomfortable draw cycle. And even with a back injury that I'm currently nurturing at the moment, I'm really pulling it with ease, so quite happy with that. And then when it comes to stability, I'm all about getting the bubble in my sight as level as possible, as fast as possible. I have no side stabilizer setups or counterbalancing setups, and I'm putting this bow back, putting it into my anchor points, and it is just sitting absolutely dead in the hand. And that's what I'm looking for a bow that I want to build confidence for in the bush. So overall, what a fantastic bow so far. I think when you check the speeds now, I'm going to do 4 or 5 different arrow weights from light to heavy, and then I think we need to hit the range. We're going to start with the arrow that I'm actually going to be shooting this bow with for the next week or two. It's a 440 grain arrow. Let's check what kind of speeds we get in. That is on the lower end. A lot of guys like to run between 400 and 450 in South Africa. So this is a good representation of what the speeds would be out of this bow. All 3 shots exactly the same speeds, 289 feet per second on a 440 grain arrow. Moving over to a more middle class weight arrow, 510 grains, kind of between the two kinds of people that argue light versus heavy arrow, sort of the sweet spot for the African bushveld. It's fast and it's heavy. 510 grains out of the PSE EVO XF. That felt awesome. Right, so first shot 270, second shot 269, third shot 270. It's safe to say for 510 grains, it's 270 feet per second. Moving over to quite a significant increase in weight, 682 grains of arrow, total arrow weight. Let's see what kind of speeds we're going to get. Okay, so our first 2 shots were 235, and now 233 feet per second on a 682 grain arrow. And last one, more of an experimental arrow than anything else. Total weight of 1,024 grains. We've been playing around with all the different bows recently, and so slowly becoming a bit of a tradition to test this arrow in every bow that we build and play with. So 1,024 grains. What speeds do we get from this bow? Right, total speed 183 feet per second on a 1,024 grain arrow. Have a look there, guys. So that's all the testing, speed tests, shootability tests, all that kind of stuff. But where the real test lies is what can this bow do in my hands at 40, 50, 60 yards, the distances that we hunt every day when we walk and stalk in the African bush. Let's hit it. I've put the pig down below just to make sure that there's no gap whatsoever between the bottom of the Impala and the ground, because we've used the Uno app to give us our rough estimates for the 5 pins on the EVO XF. But to make sure that those are in, you first have to sight in the 20 pin. And I just want to make sure we're not losing arrows during that process. So we put the pig there for safety, and I think let's get shooting. We start off nice and close just to make sure that we aren't completely off target. There's no point in damaging arrows. So start off nice and close, and then we start gauging from here. First shot very high. I've just moved that sight housing a bit. Okay, looking better. I think we can walk it back. Almost where I was aiming, so I'm going to walk it back a little and try again. We might need to move the sight up another notch because we have no more elevation on the sight itself. Bit difficult without having a proper workbench, but this is why we keep a set of Allen keys with us in the bush. Let's give it a go. Taking a little risk here, shooting it straight at 20, but if my theory is correct, we've moved it up, which means it pitches the bow down. If anything, we shoot the pig, but we shouldn't be shooting over. Kill shot on the pig. So now we're very low, but we can work with that. Exactly where I was aiming. Let's push to 30. There we go. Perfect kill shot at 30 yards. I think we just pushed to 40. $40 yards. Kill shots on kill shots on kill shots. I must say, guys, super impressed. I always say to people, if you're going to chase the latest and greatest, but you don't have the money and then you end up not shooting at all, it just doesn't make sense. Super happy with it, feels good in the hand, and with minimal accessories, extremely affordable accessories, we are kill shotting animals from 20 to 30 to 40, and now we're going to push 50 and 60 to prove the point. I think I'm going to be gutsy and just push it straight to 60, guys. 55. I hope it's here because this is a nice flat patch. 59.8, which is like boop. Let's do it. Okay, it's on animal, very left, very high. We are extremely limited, but that could just be my bubble because we are on a slope. Very right. Proving a little bit more difficult than I thought. I must say, not having those accessories that I'm used to is slightly challenging, but I enjoy the challenge. So that was a kill shot at 60 yards with a slight right adjustment. But I must be honest, like I've always said, I make my bows super heavy because I've got a nasty shake in my hands. And now with this bow being very light, because I've kept it as a light setup, I am struggling to keep it nice and dead in the hand in terms of my float on the target. But that's a me problem, not the bow problem. This 80 pounds is getting to me. I haven't shot 84 for the last 6 months or so. So we shot the EVO XF up to 60 yards, trying to use the Uno app data point entries and the sight tape that had spit it out for us. and the bow has been incredible. I've had a really good time with it. I do wish I had my heavy stabilizer set up on it, but overall the bow itself, fantastic. I would buy it if I was in the market for a more affordable flagship bow. But what I really want to focus on in the next video or two, probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I really want to dive into that Uno app. Obviously, we moved the site up one hole, which throws out all the data point entries that we put into it to get these pins spaced correctly for 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. So that's my genuine thoughts on the EVO XF from PSE. Great option if you're looking for a more affordable but premium flagship bow. But stay tuned for our next video. Stay tuned for that Uno app video. Appreciate you guys watching. Much love. Shoot straight. Peace.